Welcome to Grow With Angie. I'm Angie, and we are going to be talking about these hydroponic growing mats. Now, I have never used these before, so I went back and recorded my experience with them. And if you stay to the end of the video, you will see what I think of these guys. You can see a tray up on top right there growing in between my grow lights. Let's go ahead and take a look back at the last few weeks of growing with these. As you can see here, this is the product card that comes with the growing pads, and it says that it's biodegradable, compostable, and it's made with sustainable harvested wood. So I'm really happy about this because when I'm done with them, I can throw them into the compost pile, and it does give you a couple little instructions on the back, but we're just gonna dive in and see how it works. It's like a really heavy duty paper towel. Now, this is perfectly cut for a 10 by 20 growing tray. I actually have been using these little trays that I got off of Amazon that come with my cart. I really like them, so we're gonna go ahead and try and figure out how to get this to fit into here. What I'm thinking is to kind of line it up right around the edge, and I'm gonna grab a pencil and I'm gonna just do a light little trace around the part that I want to cut off. And this should fit. They're saying that you want to fill a reservoir with water, so we're gonna do that. And then this is going to get wet for the seeds to go on top like this. Now on the second one, let's see if we can make something work. If you want to get two of these, you can cut them like this. It's not pretty, but it works. Or you're gonna wanna use the 10 by 20 tray that these fit. All right, now we want to fill the tray with water, and this does tell you to make sure that the mat is able to absorb water as well. I'm actually going to remove this out because I want to see where my water level is compared to the little strainer that's on top, because I want it to be just underneath, and I can see I have a little bit of floating water, so I'm just above that. And then I'm gonna lay this in here. Yeah, they absorb very nicely, and it's actually getting quite a bit thicker. I can feel it almost puffing up. I decided to use the True Leaf Market Premium Seeds, and these are the red Russian kale. Inside of these packets actually have a really nice plastic almost feeling to them to keep your seeds nice and dry. And this is a 1 ounce packet, and I don't think I'm gonna use all of it, but we'll see how this goes. Actually sticking to the pad really nice. They're not rolling. The Rockwell, it seems like they would just kind of roll all over. And this is almost like they're just stuck with a glue. I like to just kind of roll them around, but yeah, I really, really like how these are laying on this mat, and they're just going where I want them to. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna throw some magnets down inside. I'm gonna seal this back up, and I still have a beautiful packet that I can turn into a magnet and throw on my cabinet. So we'll go ahead and just put this tray on just like that, and we'll let these guys sit for a couple days, and I'll continue to film and let you see how they go. And I think for this one, I'm gonna use these high mowing sprouting seeds. All right, day 2 update on the growing mat, and there is great humidity that you can see on both of these. Since we're only a couple days out, not much is happening with the red Russian kale. They're just now starting to pop open, so we have just a few that are starting to go into the root process. I'm not even really spraying them anymore because that growing mat is really holding some good moisture. As you can see, this is the sandwich mix. You can see this one's a little bit more advanced, and it's just the type of seed. It's doing a little bit better, or it's a quicker germinator. Now here's a concern going into day 6. Not everything is sprouting. It's very concerning what I'm seeing down inside. I have never had mold before, so let's talk about mold. It is going to look like a spider web. There's a difference between mold and the root hairs. The root hairs actually come off the roots and they're straight. This definitely looks spider webbed. There's these little black dots everywhere, and it's very concerning, so I have to trash this entire grow. The actual mat itself is definitely decomposing, which it's supposed to. But again, when I started pulling off the seeds, I'm seeing this discoloration in the mat and more mold. So as much as I hated throwing all of this away, some of it I saved and gave to the chickens, but the rest is just trash because I don't know how much mold is down in the root system. Now this was my final tray to test the growing mats, and they look beautiful. These are the alfalfa sprouting seeds from High Mowing. But let's talk about a couple of problems that I have with what's going on here. This is the date that I wrote down that I started the seeds. Today is April Fool's Day, and not an April Fool's that it took this long to get to this growth. These should be much taller, or I should have been able to harvest them a lot sooner. You can see, and I'm going to try and gently roll this over, there is a lot of root growth underneath. But because I don't care if I destroy these at this point, look at what is going on underneath. This is some kind of a black mold. I'm not really sure what this is or what's happening at this point, and it is all over in the mat. I can crop these out from the top and give them to my chickens, but honestly, I don't want to eat these because I don't know what is growing in there. If I pull them apart like this is still all looking okay. I'm not seeing any mold up into this section, but it does worry me if there is growth underneath. Also, cropping these is not the easiest because this just falls apart easily and quickly. It's disintegrating. Unlike the rock wool, I can just kind of roll it off the mats, or what I had done with the last one. I'm gonna grab my handy dandy scissors. I have shared these before in other videos. I love these for getting in and cutting plants. They are surgical scissors. You can tell that the color is starting to wear off on them, but I guess I don't really care. I'm gonna try and trim this out and get down to that black section. And like I said, I never waste anything. The chickens are gonna love this. Oh, here is some black right in the corner. Yes, this is absolutely disgusting. I'm not really sure what went wrong, but I can't say. I mean, it is so mushy. It is just so mushy, and I didn't overwater. I've never done anything differently than I have in the past when I'm doing microgreens. I'm probably gonna try and cut around those dark spots as much as I can. And here's some more. If anybody else knows and is like a professional microgreen grower, please let me know what happened. It's really amazing how this turns into this mushy, disintegrated growing media when it started out as one of these mats. With that, I can assume you guys know what my thought is on these. Now, I bought a whole pack of them, and I have a couple other ideas. I don't know if they're gonna work, but why not, right? I purchased them, I might as well use them. I think I might roll them up into like a little cone and use them as a growing media, maybe in my aero garden or in a deep water culture. Use them to kind of pack down inside of a net cup. But other than that, these guys, and not my favorite. This is the first product that I do not recommend, and I'm gonna give it a big brown thumbs down. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe. Thank you to the 1K who have already subscribed. I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. Grow with Angie. Don't just watch Angie grow, and we will see you on the next episode.